Raymond Lee Washington. Raymond Lee Washington. Yeah, we're going to get into this, man. You know what I mean? The originator, the creator, the founder, and the leader of the Crips, the Los Angeles-based street organization. Raymond Lee Washington, born August 14th, 1953, and was murdered August 9th, 1979, at the age of 25, in which whoever murdered him is still a mystery to the dominant population to this day, in which we don't know, but I'm sure the in-depth look of the streets of Los Angeles knows. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Raymond Lee Washington, man, the founder of the Crips, man, who was known notoriously for his knuckle game. His knuckle game was definitely off the charts. You know what I mean? It was sad, man. His knuckle game was definitely on point. He would punish his opponent, showing no mercy. You know what I'm saying? Showing no mercy. However, for a long amount of time, man, you know, Stanley Williams overtook that title, man, as the poster boy for the Crips. You know what I mean? And I can only assume because his physical build, because Stanley, you know, Tookie did like a fucking superhuman, big as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? However, man, an individual that's seldom left out is Raymond Lee Washington. You know what I'm saying? Raymond Lee Washington. You know what I'm saying? And from my sources, man, from what I know, you know, the brother, his family moved from Texas to LA. You know what I mean? I believe when he was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Early childhood years or whatever. He had some siblings, and I'm not sure if he was the middle child or close to the youngest. But you know, he was definitely squaring up with his older brothers, and he was giving that fire as far as the knuckle game, to the point where he was almost beating his older brother's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, no one in LA could take that from him. And the sources of stories that I've always heard, his knuckle game was just off the charts. He was an awesome fighter, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he came from the east side, and he attempted to go to hoods all over LA and surrounding cities outside of LA, or within the LA County, I should say, and force basically everybody to become a Crip. You know what I'm saying? And those that opposed it, the anti-Crip gangs, he went to war with. You know what I mean? He was definitely a gangster with that. Now, the lengths of violence that he did in order to maintain his position, to maintain his reign, man, is complex. It's a lot of conspiracies. It's a lot of different interpretations. I mean, some people say that he was a shooter. Some people say that he would actually kill you twice. And some people say that he was basically anti-gun, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we just know that he was that dude as far as that hand-to-hand combo, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my interpretation, and I'm gonna give my position on how I view Raymond Lee Washington. You know what I'm saying? Now I know Raymond in middle school was definitely, I don't want to say the word bully, but he was definitely not somebody to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? He'd definitely square up and beat your motherfucking ass. And he'd beat you in a submission, you know what I'm saying? And he had a following. He had a little clique, you know what I'm saying, that rolled with him. And that's what he did, you know what I'm saying? However, at the same time, he was also influenced by other LA gangs around that time who was older than him, who were being influenced by the revolutionary ideas of the Black Panther Party organization and other black liberation groups around that time in the 60s, you know what I'm saying? And Raymond, at the age of 15, 16, was actually going to some of these meetings because there was a prominent Slauson leader. I believe his name was Bunchy. Don't quote me on that, but I believe his name was Bunchy. You know what I mean? He was a notorious Slauson leader. Was also known for fighting. And had a good knuckle game too as well, but he dropped his gang ties and became a high-ranking Black Panther Party member. You know what I'm saying? And he was killed on UCLA campus sometime in the 60s. You know what I mean? However, you know, Raymond Washington, being young, man, he idolized that, and he wanted to create something, energy to pattern that after the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? And he adopted the concept of the baby Crips, who were like a junior gang underneath the elders called the Avenue Boys, or the Avenues, you know what I'm saying? However, Raymond adopted the dress code to it. He also adopted certain rules and guidelines and principles, not only for himself, but with his homeboys that was in his crew, the baby Crips, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some people look at it as if they was going all across LA and the surrounding cities with the side, LA County, as he was basically terrorizing them and, you know what I mean, just raising havoc. But when I look at it, I seen an individual who was more or less on some, you know, get down and lay down shit. If you ain't rocking with this, we gotta mash on you, we gotta mash you out, you know what I'm saying? And that's the concept Raymond Washington was going off of. And in the beginning of the Crips and how it got switched to actually the Crip name, you know, like I said, Raymond had the Black Panther ideology, where individuals supposed to look, defend, and protect their neighborhood from all type of outside negative influences. And it appeared that's exactly what they were doing on one side of the spectrum. And toward the other side of the spectrum, as far as anti-Crip gangs, anti-Crip crews, it seems that they were just bullies, you know what I'm saying? They had the numbers and they were just going around just trying to force motherfuckers to be down with them, and a lot of anti-Crip gangs at that time wasn't having it, you know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, you know, Raymond Washington was known for that. He was kicked out of various high schools, spent time in juvenile, you know what I'm saying? And he was putting it down. He was definitely putting it down. And somewhere down the line, he ended up bumping heads with Tookie. on the west side of Los Angeles. And it's still unclear how they met, whether a fight ensued with them. Did Raymond Washington actually force Tookie to be down with that Avenue Crib thing? Or did he just form alliances? I mean, who knows? But at the end of the day, Tookie Williams became a Crip, you know what I'm saying? And Raymond Washington's army of his organization gained a phenomenal stronghold in LA. A phenomenal stronghold in LA. You know what I'm saying? They adopted the color blue. And we know where the game words come from, how they identify themselves. Everything to the left side, you know what I mean? Everything to the left. However, like I said, with the complex situation of who Raymond Washington was, you know, where various sources would say, you know, this is an individual that would kill you twice. However, from one of his main homies, man, goes by the name of Batman, had always said that Raymond Washington was anti-gun. He didn't believe in using guns, you know what I'm saying? And said that, you know, his whole thing was basically his knuckle game to pound you out to the fucking ground. And it appears that's exactly what he did, you know what I'm saying? Now, during this time when a lot of LA street gangs started adapting the identity that he created, the Crips, you know what I'm saying? It appeared that Raymond had a moment of clarity and kind of seen the direction where what he created was going. You know what I'm saying? He's seen that what he created was straying away from the values and the fundamental teachings of the Black Panther Party, especially in the murder of Robert Ballell at the Palladium in Los Angeles, when what he created, the Crips, actually made the LA news headline, you know what I'm saying? And no one knows if it was a typo or if it was something that they actually created, but the word Crib actually turned into the word Crip. And it stems from that murder of Robert Ballell over his jacket, in which Crip members were allegedly involved. And the reason and the cause of Robert Ballell's death, a lot of individuals in LA begin to align themselves with the Crips. And somewhere around there, it is said that, you know, Raymond Washington kind of took a step back because he realized that what he created, they were definitely straying away from the values and the fundamentals of what he wanted in the direction that he wanted the Crip gang to go. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of fell back. However, he was still respected. You know what I mean? People still had to talk, answer to him, and holler at him. But it seems when the hammers got involved, the guns got involved, that he kind of just, you know, kind of fell back, man. And this is coming from his homie, Batman. You know what I mean? One of the first original Crips who was side by side with Raymond Washington, you know what I'm saying? And from Batman's point of view, whom I'm inclined to believe, because that was his right hand, you know what I'm saying? This was Batman was saying out of his mouth, basically, you know, Raymond Lee Washington, he didn't really fuck with guns. And when the anti-Crip gangs and the Crip gangs really started going neck to neck when guns was getting involved, that Raymond kind of just backed out. He kind of fell back and started going in a different direction and distanced himself from a lot of individuals that was professing they were Crips. You know what I'm saying? And from a lot of individuals that were anti-Crip gangs that was just on that gun-toting murder wave. You know what I'm saying? It was said that Raymond Washington kind of just fell back. He didn't really like the direction. Now, I don't know between that time what was the relationship between him and Stanley Williams. However, I'm assuming they were still cool. I don't know. Raymond kind of just fell back and told Tookie, like, man, look, man, you go ahead, man. I'm going to crown you king of this shit right here. I don't want no parts of it because I don't like the direction where it's going. But it seems like through all that, they were still kind of cool. However, when Raymond Washington decided to kind of fall back and go in a different direction, he had a floodgate open up towards him because of the beef that he created and individuals that he harmed in his past. You know what I'm saying? His demons was basically coming back to haunt him. His demons was coming back to haunt him. You know what I'm saying? And on August 9th, 1979, a car pulled up on him. And it was obviously somebody he knew because he walked to the car to greet the person and he was shot and murdered. You know what I'm saying? He was shot and murdered. And, there's a lot of scenarios. There's a lot of interpretations, a lot of opinions on his death. But it's just, man, a case of, hey, you really can't create something, man, when it get out of control. You really can't kind of just fall back and say, hey, fuck it, I don't want nothing to do with that shit no more. Because what you create definitely needs you to govern it. And if you can't govern it, it will pass judgment and it will pass the ultimate decision on you. And it appears that's exactly what happened to Raymond Lee Washington. You know what I'm saying? Now why is his name more prominent now than it was in the early millennium, in the late 90s? My personal opinion, I think the way that Raymond Washington was murdered, me personally, I think certain Crips didn't really want to honor his name. And not only that, the dominant population outside of LA, and even sometimes in LA, really don't know who murdered him. But the individuals that do know who murdered him, I think it was enough said right there with their action. It was basically, you can't walk away from something you create, or it's a struggle for power. You know what I mean? Who knows? However, in the late 90s and the early millennium, Stanley Tookie Williams' name was pushed to the forefront as a leader and the founder of the Crips. And Raymond Washington's name was quiet and silenced and just pushed to the back. You know what I'm saying? Now, we get into this day and age where his name is definitely ringing bells and the truth is coming out of the true origins of the Crip gangs and the direction that was supposed to go. And now we kind of get a picture of why Raymond Lee Washington, his name was kept under wraps and pushed to the back. Could that be from gangbangers who didn't want his name known like that? could that be from a white supremacist dominant society point of view? You understand? Because if you know the origins, and you know the true history of what you align yourself with and got involved with, then that might make you embrace the true concepts of it. And that could exactly be what happened to Raymond Lee Washington. A brother that created something seeking to resurrect his form of a black liberation army, in which could have been infiltrated by LAPD and other anti-black youth structure, programs, or systems, in which could have just sabotaged that whole ideology of what Raymond Lee Washington was bringing to the table. And the fact that he was still trying to fight against that, they could have orchestrated his death. You know what I'm saying? There's various spins on it. But I just want to take the time out, man, because me, yes, being on the other side of the fence, and what some would call the op or the opposition. However, I always give credit when credit is due, and I always try to do the knowledge and the history to what the fuck I got myself involved with, and what I was aligned with, where it birthed from, and it all stemmed back to Raymond Washington. You know what I'm saying? It all stemmed back to Raymond Washington. And now I have understanding of what it was he was trying to create, of his vision, and of his thought process and ideology, and the direction that he was trying to take what it created, and how it was sabotaged, and it was redirected into a direction that he wasn't feeling, and it removed itself out of that way, and it removed itself from that. And for that, in my opinion, I believe he was murdered for that. You know what I'm saying? So, for the active Crip gang members, the active anti-Crip gang members, which we know today as Bloods, look at the origins. Look at the history. Look at the ashes of what these street organizations were birthed and created from. And get back to that. Get back to that. It's 2017. We had it in 2018 and beyond, man. It's pro-love and no love. I go by the name of No Face the Rambler, and I definitely appreciate you for tuning in. I hope this was informative. It was definitely for me. Peace.